Hi everybody, my name is Tyler, and this is a series called What I Learned from Watching, where I explore cinema's most noteworthy films. First on the list is a movie titled A Trip to the Moon. A Trip to the Moon is a French film about a group of astronauts who travel to the moon by cannon and encounter strange creatures living there. It was made in 1902 by Georges Méliès and was widely considered to be the first science fiction movie ever made. This movie has been hailed a masterpiece of cinema since at least the 1920s. It's still referenced and celebrated today.
Méliès actually was a magician, and so he understood the possibilities of a motion picture camera.
Good night. Points for the attack.
Hugo is a tribute to Méliès. In the film, Scorsese shows just how the old magician did his tricks.
That's great, you can go. Pyrotechnics in, please. Knights, please don't move. Freeze.
Méliès, who directed over 500 films between 1896 and 1913, was the inventor of special effects.
A more complete and hand-painted version of the film, which includes a once-lost final parade scene, was found in 1993 and restored between 2002 and 2011, nearly 110 years after its production. It was screened at Cannes in 2011 with a new soundtrack by the French band Air. So what can we learn? Well, the first thing this movie does well is world building. This was one of the first movies that allowed people to escape to a world other than our own. The sets and costumes work together to present an acceptable reality, and we can suspend our disbelief in service of the story. Just take a look at this prop from about 4 minutes in. This telescope fits in perfectly with the cartoonish feel of the scenery. This movie doesn't really add fantastical elements to our reality, but instead it creates its own. It's easy to see how this idea is developed when you look at a movie like Brazil. And much like Brazil, A Trip to the Moon proves that you can display a social commentary through an exaggerated and satirical world. Next up is visual language. This is a very early example of what film as a medium can do. It can convey a story entirely through moving visuals, and it is easy to tell what is going on without any dialogue. It should also be noted that there aren't any title cards either. It's easy to see that the spirit of A Trip to the Moon as a spectacle is alive and well. We see parallels between A Trip to the Moon and many contemporary movies. These rely on spectacle and cutting-edge special effects to portray an incredible world that provides an escape for the audience. There's also a real good versus evil vibe, a faceless enemy that can be destroyed without carnage or sympathy. We've seen this time and time again. The basic story of A Trip to the Moon is actually very similar to Prometheus. Méliès used every cinematic tool he could to better serve the experience of the movie. He used crazy sets, tons of different special effects, and even had hand-painted prints of the movie travel around the world. It seems almost counterproductive for filmmakers now to shy away from new technologies. Sure, a lot of new technologies start out as gimmicky, like color and sound, but it is up to us to figure out new and innovative ways to use them. The fact that Scorsese and now Godard have used 3D is really saying something.